you all to close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And I want you in your mind's eye to get up and walk outside of where you are. And I want you to close your eyes. And now open them and look around you. We're in the desert. It's wide open spaces. It's a beautiful evening. The temperature is perfect. The stars are beautiful. You can see every constellation. You can see the Milky Way. It looks like there's millions and billions and trillions of stars. It's just beautiful. And I want you to look down at your feet, and you have a bedroll. There's a bedroll at your feet. So I want you to unroll your bedroll, and I want you to lie down, flat on the ground, connected to Mother Earth. And look up at the stars. And you're going to start shedding negative, non-beneficial energies from your body into Mother Earth. Traumas, illnesses, anything that is not of benefit to your wellness, mind, body, and spirit. And as you shed those energies, Mother Earth is going to take them, transform them back to healthy energy, and put them back, bring them back, send them back up to your body. So it's going to be a cycle, and it'll start. One of the ways is it's going to go from the top of your head, the crown, and go all the way through your body, down your limbs, through your legs, out your feet, and into Mother Earth. And it's also, the energies are also going to be released through your body, through your back and through your body into Mother Earth. We're also going to release cellular memories that are not beneficial. Release them into Mother Earth as well. She will take this and recycle it back into healthy energies and send it back for your healing, for your balance, for your well-being. And it really feels good. It's a nice, freeing feeling. So we've started this process. Your body is cycling this energy. And while you're lying there, looking at the stars, dreaming, I want to tell you a story. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, the greatest minds in all dimensions and all the universe and the solar system and all the galaxies got together and decided to create a new planet. And they made blueprints and plans, and they brainstormed, and they made designs and illustrations, and they had all of these papers, and they were creating and so excited about this. And when they felt like they were finished, they took their plans to God and said, God, we have this vision of a new planet. And we have the designs right here. Would you please look at them and tell us if you will create this for us? And God looked at these plans, and even though he knew they weren't exactly perfect, he said, yes, I will create this vision for you, this new planet. We will call this new planet Earth. And he threw out his hands. God just threw out his hands, and by magic, it was magical. Earth appeared. And God knew exactly where to place the Earth in the solar system, between the sun and the moon. The perfect place for this environment to thrive. And the powers that be, these ones who created these plans, I call them the powers that be. And the powers that be looked at that, and they just gasped. It was just more than they had envisioned. It was just much more magnificent, much more beautiful. There were the trees and the flowers and the sky and the waters and all they had visioned, and all just in there, just like magic. It was just there. And this Earth, this planet they called Earth, came into existence. And they thanked God, and God said, you're welcome, and he went on. Well, the powers that be watched this for a few days, and they were like, I don't know about this. There's not much going on here. So they thought, what can we do? What can we do to create movement on Earth? So they went again to God, and they said, God, we need life. We need life on Earth. And God said, I can do that for you. But there's one condition. They said, what? And he said, I will give this life free will. And you are not to interfere with that free will. I will give these beings life, and I will give them a set of guidelines that I will call universal laws. And these are guidelines that will help them navigate their life. And the powers that be thought about it, and they asked God, well, what do you mean we can't interfere? And God said, well, you cannot interfere with free will. You will not be able to do that. So the powers that be thought, well, how will this work? And they thought, okay, well, we'll think about that later. We would like to see life. So they said, God, yes, we agree to this. We agree that these beings will have free will with the universal laws as their guidelines. So God said, okay. And he threw his hands out and said, let there be light. And millions and trillions and millions and billions and trillions of lights appeared. Beautiful and unique, and every one of them different from the others, no one alike. And God held each one of them in his hand, and he said, and he gave them a purpose, and he said, go and fulfill your purpose. And like magic, the snakes and the reptiles, the insects and the birds and the fish, God created things that slithered on their backs and swam in the sea and flew in the sky and walked on the ground. He created two-legged and four-legged beings. He created life. And each species of beings had their own universal set of universal laws. And it was pretty easy for most of them to follow those laws, because most of living beings understand the circle of life, understands the progression in the evolution of life. And then we have what God called human beings who get lost a little along the way. So the powers that be, they were so excited and so thrilled to see this. This was so much more than they could have ever anticipated. There were fish in the water. There were birds in the sky. There were bugs, and there were everything. There was every form of living being, and they were like, oh my gosh, we never even thought of this. We just never even thought this big, this huge, this magnificent. And they said, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. And they've watched us, and they've taken care of us, and they have loved us since creation. And I'll tell you something, this is kind of cool. They were not able to interfere or intervene with us. Okay, let's take intervene out of there. They were not allowed to interfere with us, but they found a little bit of a way around that. That is how the pyramids, Stonehenge, the structures on Easter Island, so many more, Mount Sequoia in Fayetteville, Arkansas. They put these structures in these places into being as communicators. So these structures and places communicate what is going on this earth. They send this to the powers that be. And that way, the powers that be know how we're doing, what's going on. If we need them, they know everything because they love us. And one of the ways that we communicate, they're telling me what to say right now, so that's why I'm hesitating a little bit, because I'm trying to listen to them and tell my story. They are saying that there is a way to connect with them directly, and that is through prayer. And prayer can be just a conversation. Prayer can be anything. Prayer, you don't have to sit and say, oh God, well, and you just talk. Now, the thing about that is that A lot of people pray, but they're not really focused on what they want. And and maybe today they'll pray this one prayer, and maybe tomorrow they'll pray this other prayer, and it's just not really focused. That is not going to be answered. Probably not. It's too confusing. For all the angels and all of God's helpers who answer these prayers, that is too confusing. And the powers that be, which engulfs a lot. It's big. There are a lot of powers that be. So anyway, what they're telling me right now is that you need to focus. You need to be passionate and want this and care about this. And you have to be focused. They're saying you have to be focused. You have to be focused and know exactly what you want. Know exactly what your prayer is. And send that out there. They will hear that prayer. That prayer they will hear. Because it is sincere, it is from your heart, it is given with passion. And they're also telling me right now that some people send thoughts into the universe that are not really very beneficial, that are maybe created out of anger or something like that. They will not respond to that energy. That energy comes right back to you, creating chaos in your body, mind, body, spirit. That's when you get ill. It creates stress. They don't want anything to do with that. These beings are pure love, well-being, peace, because the emotions of anything but that are all human traits. As bad, as much as I hate to say this, these are human traits. So, well, it just is what it is, right? So they wanted me to tell you this, that you can communicate with them through prayer, through talk, through deed, through action, through thoughts. You are the creator. You can create anything, and everything is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, and energy is always in motion. So you can create anything you want with focus, with passion. You can create energy. Energy can be moved, changed, altered. You can create. And that's my story. That is my version of creation as told to me by the powers that be and God. And I see now that your body is finished cycling. Everything in your body, all the energy is now beneficial, clean, fresh, new energy, rebirth, renewal, new beginnings, energy. And I want you to get up and stretch, and oh my gosh, don't you feel good? Don't you feel lighter, like you just float in the sky? You look up at the stars. And that just knowing what you now know and feeling how you feel, doesn't it make everything look different? Doesn't it make you start thinking about creation? And how God said, he threw his hands out and said, let there be light. And there we were, like magic. It's all magic. The universe is magic. Everything in the universe is magic. There is magic everywhere, all around you. Just be open to seeing it. Just be open to experiencing this magic. Oh, I love how God set this all up. I love this. I just love this. It's all I can say over and over and over again. So I want you now to pick up your bedroll, roll it back up, and just set it down at your feet and look around one more time. And your heart is so full of gratitude for just being, and awe at the magnificence of the creation of you. And I want you to know how important you are and how loved you are, how everyone outside of this planet loves you so much. Beings on the inside of this planet do as well. But I just want you to know that outside of here, everyone is cheering for you. Everyone is praying for you. Everyone is in your corner and rooting for you and for the best for you. The highest possible good for you. I want you to take a deep breath, say goodbye, close your eyes. And I want you to open your eyes and you're back at home, comfortable and cozy. And know you have done something wonderful and miraculous and magic. You have just been on the most magical journey. And you feel so good and so free and so alive. And I'm going to leave you with a huge thank you and let you know how much I love you. And I thank the powers that be. Most of all, I thank God for creating us, Mother Earth, and all that is.